All right, so in terms of partnerships, so my business partner, Greg, it's three of us, yeah, we are at each other's throat constantly, all right? And it's tough because you have a history with someone, and at the same time, business is business, right? And I hate that saying, what is it, like, don't take it personally, it's just business or whatever. That's usually when like someone gets fired or whatever. But it's true, you can't, obviously when you're friends with someone, I've been friends with Greg for 20 years. And so we trust each other kind of at the core, which is really helpful. But at the same time, like you each know each other's kind of weaknesses, ticks, right? All the different things that kind of annoy you. They're like, oh, there goes Greg again talking for an extra 5 minutes, you know. But no, so I'm usually the one that talks a lot actually. But no, I think the trust piece did help with Greg, knowing him for so long. Now, when it comes to splits, that's the kind of thing where I think you have to balance making sure that you get yours, right, versus it being equitable in how you think people perceive the partnership. And that's kind of a little wordy, but you have to think about as you raise more capital, right? So you might own 100% of the business, but as you raise $1 million, you go down to 80%. And then when you raise another $1 million, you go down to 60%. And you end up owning 30% of the business after you raise, you know, like a good chunk of capital. And so when you think about your split, you're like, yeah, what if you were to get 80-20 at the beginning? So you have all this equity and your partner has very little. What do you think what will happen when you've taken in all this capital and all of a sudden now your partner has 2% and you have 15% or whatever? That's not the right breakdown of the percentages, but you see the point, right? And what's huge is what the motivator is the equity. Without the equity, it's like, well, why am I working so hard? Why don't I work for Amazon? They'll pay me a lot better. They'll pay for my healthcare. I won't have equity, but at least I'll have a stable job. So you do have to balance that. I mean, the way we did it, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's pretty confidential, but we kind of broke it up in terms of sweat equity. So we're all going to work a certain amount, and if one works more than the other, there's a certain percentage. But then also, who's bringing in the capital? Which is, you can't start a business without capital, right? So you can kind of create like a very simplistic model. You don't have to go into a lot of detail, but these are valuable things that each person brings to the table that you should use to defend your position. And obviously, like if you put more capital at risk, you should get more, right?